Abby, and welcome again, everybody. I'm really happy to be here. So let me just jump right in since we have just very little time. I can already sense that Ivy has a secret wall clock that she's looking at, and anytime from now, like she's just going to shut me out. So let me jump right in. It is never too late. And Nike already said it. So let me just re-echo it. And I'm hoping that every other speaker will continue to re-echo it so that it sinks in. Why I'm saying that is because you know how life is. When someone tells you, oh my God, you're so good at this, self-doubt comes in very easily and you accept that you're not good at it. But when they tell you something horrible about yourself, you're quick to believe it and just take it out. Oh my God, they said I am really horrible. They said what I said was not very in line and so on. So if we can today just continue to hammer on this and let everybody know that, look, it is never ever too late to achieve their dreams. Perhaps by the time we're done today, this positive drive will sink in and it will kick out any other negative vibes that is telling us otherwise. Now, why is it never too late? Why are we so confident that it is never too late to achieve our dreams? One, and I'm going to list I'm going to talk about a list of 6 things I usually like to call the critical 6. And for me, I see them as the prepping stage towards working on achieving your dreams. Now, number 1 on the critical 6 is when you wake up is your morning. It's like an African proverb where they say when you wake up is your morning. It means any time at all that the realization just sets in, or you just feel like, look, I need to do something, I need to move, I need to begin to work on actualizing my dreams. Once you wake up, it is your morning. And it means that you can very well go about doing whatever you want to do. So there's no right time, there's no wrong time. Anytime at all that you decide that you want to embark on achieving your dreams is a good enough time. Now, number 2, how badly do you want it? Is the next point that drives any dream that you desire to achieve. How badly you want it will determine how far you are ready and willing to go. Number 3, step out and do an assessment. You've said you've woken up, you've said you really do want to make it happen. Now you need to step out. It's almost like when you buy a new farmland, you need to step out of your comfort zone, step out of your house into the farmland and stand from a vantage, viewpoint and look at the whole landscape. So, and I remember that Nike also mentioned it. You need to do an assessment. You need to do a review. You need to do some self-assessment of some sort. So you step out and you do an assessment. Number 4, that's not an assessment. You're looking around and you're wondering to yourself, usually when you see a plot of land that has been lying fallow, nothing's being done, or even when you were doing something and you just left it briefly, you will notice that there's a lot of weed, there are a lot of stumps, there's the clear ground, there's the part that has some grass. You will see all sorts. It's usually a mix and match of any and everything that you can imagine. But you need to start to check, what do I need to uproot from this landscape of my life that I am viewing right now? What do I need to take out? What are the things that are no longer relevant, that needs to be uprooted and taken out of the way so that what needs to stay can stay? Number 5, you have to think again. What do I need to root in? There may be some things that are already going well and they are good. Yes, you may have left them at some point, but you're ready to go back to, tilling your field. But some things are still in good shape and you need them for the journey ahead. Those ones you need to reroot. You need to reinforce their roots and add more soil, add nutrients so that they can be firmly rooted in the ground. And then number 6, what do I need to plant? You have uprooted, you have rerouted some things that need to stay. What are the new things that you need to put in place? And like Nike said, you need to sit back and begin to evaluate what can fit into my landscape that I need to start putting in place. So when you have put your critical 6 in motion, you have sat down and reviewed all of this, the next step usually would be to actually start doing the work. Nike talked about you need to train, you need to do some growing and grooming of yourself. Now, these critical 6, they usually serve as your foundational or support pillars that help to keep the structure in place before you start all of the buildings. So once you have put these 6 in place, it's time to go out and set goals. It's time to go out and write down what exactly you intend to achieve. And from experience, a lot of people I've worked with always argue with that point. Do I necessarily have to write any goals? Do I necessarily have to put it down? I know what I want to do. Can I just do it? And I always say to them, no. What you write down, you tend to remember more often. And again, when you write it down, when life happens, when challenges come at you, it's very easy to forget what you don't write down. You get really mixed up with things and you can't quite figure out what it was that you were doing, where you stopped. But when you write it down, you are able to go back to your drawing board and check and tick and say, oh my God, this is where I stopped. This is where I need to pick it up from. So writing down is very critical and very important. It's a must-have. Maybe that's why Habakkuk 2:2 says, write down the vision, make it clear so that he who reads may run. You're writing it now. After a while, unclarity, life happens, challenges come. But when you get back on track, when you come back to that eureka moment, you want to be able to go back to what you wrote down, you want to be able to read it, and you want to be able to run with it. Now, usually after you've sorted out your critical 6, a myriad of questions just begin to come at you. Number one, you just start to wonder, so I have the fields where I need to plant or sow. What exactly am I sowing? I have no clue where to start. Like Nike, I have to keep referring because she really hit on a lot of powerful points for me. Like Nike said, so after you've gone through some various crises or transition processes in your life, sometimes you forget who you are, you lose a sense of what you're supposed to be doing. And so you begin to wonder, yes, critical 6, after that, I don't really know what I'm supposed to be doing. I haven't even discovered my purpose. Everything just kind of becomes unclear. And you say, I don't even know what to do. I'm not really good at a lot of things. But here's what I want to tell you. Every single one of us has something that they know how to do. So let's establish that fact first. Then the next question that comes, or one of the other questions, is, what if I do these things and people don't even believe that I am really good at it? Self-doubt begins to set in. And that imposter syndrome that a lot of us agree that we have experienced every now and again, it just begins to set in, and you start to doubt yourself. You start to feel inadequate about the things that you are really excellent at. And what do I have to say to you about this? Do it anyway and anyhow. Just do it. Get doing until it begins to make sense. At the beginning of a vision or a goal or a dream, sometimes it doesn't always make sense, but as the same way when you sow a seed, if you have different types of seeds, sometimes some seeds look alike. I think the ewedu and the green leaf, their seeds look so alike. Don't mind me, I'm a gardener. I love gardening. Their seeds look alike. And at that point, you will not be able to differentiate or tell where you're going or where you're coming from. But after you have planted and you allow for it to grow, it now becomes clear which one is ewedu, which one is green leaf, So I just want to encourage us, do it anyhow, do it anyway, and allow the thing to begin to grow. And when it grows, as it grows, it makes more sense, it becomes clearer. So instead of expending energy, worrying ourselves sick with all these concerns, let's just simplify and break things down a bit. Every human being here on earth has one major goal, that is to die empty. to use the skills, the talents that you have and empty them out by sowing them into lives, by using them like the parable of the talent. It's not for you to bury them and sit, for you to begin to use them, to work on them, and you must use them or else they go to waste. So in thinking of that, no talent, no gift is too small. So anything your hands find to do, take hold of it and begin to work on it. I'm seeing you shaking. I sense that my time is almost up. No talent or gift is too small. Now, instead, like Moses did in, I think Exodus 4:2, what is it that you have in your hand? When you get to that point where you don't even know where to start, just check, what do you have in your hand? Cast it down on the ground and begin to work. Now, when that is done and you just figure out, oh, I'm just good at cooking, focus on your cooking and make the best out of it. Open the best restaurant you can think about. When you figure out and you say, I'm good at understanding how to ensure that garments are clean. Ordinarily, if you choose to look at all of our dreams and talents with ordinary eyes, you're going to belittle gold and you will think it's a stone. But when you look at something that seems minor, like even understanding how some people are just very passionate about clean clothes, people like that can turn around and open a big, a world-class laundry or laundromat service. So no dream, no vision is too small. Now, step one, now that you feel that you are ready to start going, is to write down every goal, whether big or small. But in writing them, make sure they are smart, that they're specific, they're measurable, they're achievable, they're realistic, and they are time bound. Now, step two, assign a targeted timeline for completion of each goal. Step three, I'm trying not to go into the nitty-gritty of it, or I just want to brush through really fast. Break your goals up into bite-sized tasks that are easy to manage. Step four, put these bite-sized tasks into a schedule that becomes part of your daily routine. Step five, set alarms to serve as reminders for when to start and stop a particular task. Now, measure all the time as you progress with your goals and your visions and your dreams. Measure by setting aside a time, maybe weekly, monthly, set aside a time where you go back and review and see how far you've gone, how you've come. Then another helpful tip for measuring and ensuring progress is to be accountable. Find somebody that you can hold you accountable, that pushes you to continue to do what it is that you've set out to do. To round up, here are some quick life lessons that have really helped me. Number one, remember the old saying, Rome was not built in a day. So achieving a goal or building a dream takes time, and it's best to allow for due process so that your dreams can grow, mature, and bear fruit. Now, when we cut corners or rush the process, we end up with half-baked results that can barely stand through the test of time. So don't be in a hurry. Allow for time for your dreams to grow. Then follow the due process and make sure that it shows the trajectory of how you progress, so that every point in time you can go back and check where you left off and retrace your steps. Now, competing and comparing yourself or your progress with somebody else's progress or somebody else's journey is very unhealthy. It puts you under immense pressure, and I'm sure that Dr. Toyin Ogan will talk about it, how pressure can maybe lead to depression and all of that. It puts you under unnecessary pressure, and at best, when you are done with all this struggle and pressure, you end up becoming a replica of somebody else instead of the best version of the original you that God created. Now, celebrate. Remember to celebrate every baby step that you take. At the end, it's still a process that is leading you to achieving your grand goal. Finally, rest. We can never underestimate or overestimate the value that rest brings. We need to be rested to be able to achieve any and every one of our goals. So ladies and gentlemen, it is never ever too late to start embarking on the journey of achieving your dreams. You can start now, you can start today, you can start anyhow, just allow for time, let it grow, and it will all make sense. Thank you, and over to you, Ivy.